Hey, John.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank all of y'all for being here. We have a great day planned for you. But before we get started, let's give a warm round of applause to the Kip McDonough 15 band. They did a marvelous job. Let me welcome all of you who have come from all over our state with a common goal to improve the opportunities for our children to receive a first-rate education. We've packed this room with over 800 people who have come to Baton Rouge today because you believe something must be done to dramatically improve the quality of public education in Louisiana. I hope we all look on this conference today as an important beginning. Let me give you a quick side note. Last week, I was in New Orleans with a number of legislators, and Senator Michoud made a presentation. And in his presentation, he said, as I'm cleaning out my office, I found a push card from my dad who ran for governor in 1960. The number one item on that push card was to improve the quality of education in our state. That was 52 years ago. We have a chance today to make it happen. Our esteemed speakers for today have come in from across this nation to motivate us, and they will do that, I promise you. They'll tell us about what is possible. This is an historic day, a great day for education in our state. Our kids and grandkids deserve the best possible education and opportunities we can provide all of them. Taking a few hours out of your day and out of your schedules to be here today is just the first step in many we will need to take to improve the state education in Louisiana. My hope today is for all 800 of us to leave here with at least one idea about how to improve public education, take it back to your area, and to find a way to implement it. Our speakers have done amazing things in areas resistant to change. So if they can do it, guess what? We can do it. At this time, I'd like to recognize our presenting and major sponsors, and without their support, this event would not be possible. The Baton Rouge Area Foundation and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Charter Schools USA, AT&T, Adams and Reese, Bayo, ISC, the Lemoyne Company, Patrick F. Taylor Foundation, Your Child, Our Future. I'd also like to recognize our summit partners who have worked together as a team these past 6 months to put this event together. Advanced Innovation Education, Bayo, Blueprint Louisiana, Committee of 100, Cable, Lobby, Louisiana Federation of Children, Louisiana Association of Public Charter Schools, and Teach for America. Let's give them a warm. Before we begin, please allow me to recognize a few people, and I'd like for you to hold your applause until all are introduced. Senator Appel, Conrad Appel from Greater New Orleans. He was selected to chair the Senate Education Committee and is serving his second term in the Senate. I'm looking forward to working with Senator Appel on trying to accomplish for the next 4 years to improve the quality of education in our state. Senator Appel for a few words.
Thank you, Steve. You know, I want to congratulate Steve Carter. He started talking about this event just a very few months ago, and everybody said, yeah, Steve, that sounds like a great idea. Go ahead. And look, 800 people. You did great work, Steve. Thank you all for coming. The foundation of every state is the education of its youth. Let me repeat that one more time. The foundation of every state is the education of its youth. This expression fits our modern society pretty well, don't you think? The interesting part of this statement was that it was actually pronounced over 2,400 years ago by the Greek philosopher Diogenes. In his time, it was used as a statement as he railed against the tyranny of the few. In our time, this expression has even more importance as I believe our society, to a great extent, has lost its focus. When we were growing up, our parents taught all of us a few tenets that they viewed as the foundation of our free society. Do unto others as you would want done unto you. Judge every person by their character and not what they look like or where they come from. The good of the few must always be subject to the good of the whole. In other words, majority rules. In our country, we have gotten far afield from these common sense beliefs. In particular, we've become overly fixated upon what is good for the individual, or perhaps on a subset of individuals, instead of what is important for the whole of society. Today in Louisiana, we are faced with exactly this quandary. Just as in Diogenes' time, and perhaps more so today, the education of our youth is absolutely the foundation of our state. Yet as we approach a legislative session in which we have the golden opportunity to redirect Louisiana's future through educational reform, we are being subjected to the same concerns that we always face. Not the impact upon the majority, our young people and our citizens, but instead the impact upon the few. Where is the concern for generations of young people and citizens of Louisiana that have suffered the effects of really bad educational outcomes? The answer is simple. Our society has somehow gotten away from these simple tenets of our parents, the basic philosophy upon which we as a nation have prospered. Throughout the history of our country, it has been demonstrated time and again that the prosperity of the nation as a whole is the true path for prosperity of the few. And yet it is clear that the opponents of educational reform in Louisiana are attempting to convince us to ignore the needs of the majority and to believe that the path to prosperity for the few lies only within the largesse of government. This logic has never worked. By giving it credibility, we would allow ourselves to be diverted from our goals. Rest assured that generations to come, in that case, would be tethered to the ever-growing governmental dependency. Such dependency results only in a continued decline in the quality of life of our citizens. As we move forward into this session, our goal must be to concentrate on the critical importance of what the proposed major reforms will mean to our youth and to our citizens. We must refocus on the success of the majority, the same young people and citizens that have suffered under the problems of the past. We must avoid at all costs the efforts of those predisposed to other interests in their efforts to divert our legislative process from this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to redirect Louisiana onto a path of national leadership. When we succeed, no longer will we reside in the bottom 5% of educational outcomes. A bright future for our people beckons. We must reject the failed concepts of the past and have faith that we can assure the prosperity of all of our people. Let me take this last opportunity to thank you all for your passion and for your dedication, and once again to thank Steve Carter for getting us all together in this wonderful event. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Conrad. It is with great pleasure that I now get to introduce our lead speaker to kick off the summit.